G'day guys, how you doing? Picking up from where we left off yesterday, we're going to be running Yanmega again. Um, as we saw from yesterday, the team is quite weak to Pokemon such as Scarf Darmanitan, which would include Scarf Infernape in this case, as well as something like a Mega Manectric. Although it is weak to these things, it is able to play around such threats. So it's kind of one of those things you have to be aware of when playing Pokemon. You need to be aware of your team's weaknesses and how to play against poor matchups. Yesterday, I sacked my Mega Altaria to Empoleon, which I really paid for in the end. I almost lost that game, and if my opponent had have been Choice Scarf Darmanitan, it wouldn't have come down to a 50% chance for me to lose. So, knowing that, we'll hopefully start making some better plays today, and we'll go from there. So let's get straight into it. I've had a pretty good start on my ladder run so far. I've won 12 games and lost 0, but this is where things get a little bit interesting. It's where we have a higher chance of facing people that are a bit more experienced at ladder or Pokemon in general, and it's just when you have to start thinking about the plays you're going to make. Anyway, looking at my opponent's team, he has a Mega Manectric, which is what most people will lead with the majority of the time when they have a team such as this. Nidoqueen's a great lead because he doesn't really like switching into it, and I'm probably going to go for Ice Beam here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. He's going to fear the Earth Power. Ice Beam hits Latias too. If he goes for Hidden Power Ice, it was a ballsy play, but I also catch his Gliscor, so he was expecting the Earth Power. It really kind of gives me a gauge of what to expect moving forward with this match. Okay, my opponent goes Latias. His best play is to double switch here. I go to Muck. I hope to trap it. He goes for Psyshock. I've trapped his Latias. Not really expecting much more from my opponent. He's made some pretty average plays here. So, again, pretty easy match to start off with. I don't get the Poison Touch, unfortunately. Okay, my opponent goes to Breloom. His Latias is so low. I probably need Muck to take on Manectric later on, even though I've got Rotom, Nidoqueen, and Altaria. I just want to make sure that I have my options open here because it's probably one of the most threatening things to the Yanmega and Scizor core here. Okay, so I just need to sack something to Spore. Looking at this, I don't really need Scizor anymore considering how low his Latias is and his Stealth Rocker has already gone down. I'm going to go to Yanmega. If he goes for Rock Tomb, it's a really good play. Hopefully we get to see Yanmega do something more this time around. If he doesn't go for Rock Tomb and he goes for something else, he has no switch into Bug Buzz. He's likely going to... Okay, his Sash. I thought he was likely going to sack his Latias, but his Sash Rock Tomb. That is a set. I prefer to run Swords Dance. At the same time, Yanmega wasn't doing a whole lot. I still have Rotom. I still have Muck Alive and Nidoqueen. Rotom is pretty important just for the Suicune, and Altaria can take on Suicune as well. So looking at this matchup, my Altaria is faster than Breloom. He doesn't have many options other than Scizor, and I can switch in Rotom Heat into Scizor, or my own Scizor into Scizor. So I'm not too worried at this stage. I probably could have U-turned with Yanmega. At the same time, I wasn't expecting my opponent to have Rock Tomb, so I should have scouted for that too. I think my opponent expected his Breloom to outpace Altaria. As I said earlier, I've EV'd this Altaria to be faster than Mega Manectric at +1. He's probably going for a U-turn here. Good play here. At the same time, Muck can just go straight in on Latias, and I can Z overheat versus Manectric if that's the case. Suicune, I can't say I agree with this play, but let's see what my opponent decides. He is heavily invested in special defense. Quite surprising, really. Altaria doesn't mind the burn, and he shows leftovers. I'm just going to calc that. If he's that heavily invested in special defense, I doubt he's going to be faster as well. So Suicune. The most common set is Vincoon, or Subcarmine Protect. It's great for PP stalling, so I'm going to put that in, and that's probably the main set that's going to have the most special defense investment. So Volt Switch did minimum 41 to that. So let's just change this around a bit. How much did I end up doing? Volt Switch did 35 if it was timid max special defense. He's shown 34, so he's probably calm nature, which I don't really agree with. He allows me to get off more hits here, so I'm not really complaining. Alrighty, so he's likely going to go for a bullet punch because he knows his my Altair can beat his Suicune 1v1. If he goes for U-turn, again, it's a good play, but I'm really not too worried. Oops, sorry. Clicked on the wrong tab. I was closing some tabs. My opponent's thinking for a bit here. I'm not sure what he's planning to do now. He probably will bullet punch. If not, he's U-turning into Latias because Rotom 5 and a hit after a U-turn from Manectric. It's faster than his Suicune, so that is my logic there. He could likely go for a Healing Wish. At the same token, I'm not too worried. If he's max HP Scissor with no speed, I outspeed it with Muck as well, so not overly worried. There you go, Muck takes that nicely. My computer is lagging out here. It's all good. He knows he can't switch out because of the suit. He makes the right play in that situation. At the same time, he may go to Manectric here. I'm full HP on my Nidoqueen, and Rotom Hit can live one hit for a Revenge KO. So I've got those two options in the back. I want to keep my Rotom Hit here. He also can't switch into Nidoqueen anymore as well. So it's sad that my Yanmega has done nothing again. But at the same time, it's the threat that Yanmega poses. I mean, I wasn't to expect that he was Sash Rock Tomb, but looking at his team, what was he going to switch into versus Yanmega at that point in time thereafter? I'm going to sack my Muck here. He's probably Volt switching. If he's HP icing, that's a good play. At the same time, I can just bring in my Nidoqueen now. Suicune can't switch in, even if it's max special defense, and to prove that to you right now, I just want to show you the calc. So Nidoqueen does 35%, and it's probably going to outspeed because we just showed that it was max special defense invested. I don't really agree with max per def Suicune. It's just a waste, especially with Calm Mind. Alright, I'm going to go for Earth Power here. I can 2-hit KO the Suicune on switching. His health, yeah, is too low. Earth Power takes out Mega Manectric, and HP Ice doesn't one-hit KO Nidoqueen or even come close to it. In fact, it's close to a 3-hit KO, so I'm not really worried at all. This game is over. So, as I said yesterday, I'm planning just to do 3 videos at a time now, just to keep it shorter, and hopefully keep the narration much better quality moving forward, and hopefully the microphone has less issues. Good game, mate. Pretty easy. I'm not sure why my computer's lagging, but I'll try to sort that out for the next video. Alrighty. Next match. Yanmega, please do something. We want to see you do something. We want to see Choice Specs, Tinted Lens, Bug Buzz be used. It's powerful, I swear, even though it's done nothing so far. Oh dear me. So we're now 13-0, and we're looking at a semi-Trick Room team, or full Trick Room team with Cobalion as the backup sweeper. That's pretty interesting. So my strategy here is to lead with Rotom Heat. If he leads with Bronzong, I'm going to get a free overheat off, Z overheat off. Bronzong's his Stealth Rocker, so he's very likely to lead with that. Nothing like switching into this, so that was pretty much my logic. I didn't really have anything else to add to that. He goes for Trick Room straight away, which makes sense. He's probably Trick Room, Explode, Stealth Rock. I don't think he's going to Explode here. He's probably going to set his rocks. Yep, and he's probably going to Explode now. So I'm going to Roost. If he switches, good play. If not, I get my health back. and I can defog hopefully on whatever comes in next. I don't think Crawdont KOs. It goes to Cobalion. Okay, Cobalion isn't going to do much versus this team. I don't want it getting the opportunity to set up. He's probably going to go for a Z close combat here. We'll see. As my opponent goes for Z close combat. There you go. I'm not too surprised by that. I'm going to go for Sludge Wave to hopefully hit the Cresselia. He gets back his... He gets an opportunity to set Trick Room, but I'm just going to defog here. I need to be careful around Cobalion now. At the same time, Yanmega can tank a +2 Iron Head, but also he has a 30% chance just to break through. I think I can play around Cobalion just by not letting it set up, and he chose a really weird opportunity to come in with Cobalion at the same time. So at this stage, my opponent is playing very passively with his Trick Room turns. He just wasted 3 turns just then switching in Bronzong to essentially nothing. I think my opponent right here, his best play would be to go for an Iron Head. Just because I have so many switch-ins to stab fighting moves. He also might be trying to get damage on Scissor, because he knows Scissor is a threat. It's pretty much walls a lot of his team. So looking at this, Yanmega is 317 speed, and if he's running the correct Cobalion set, he will be full speed. So I just get a free air slash here. He shows me that he is likely adamant, and as I said, Yanmega survives a +2 Iron Head. Looking at that damage, I believe it is adamant. I don't need to calc it. If you really are interested, you can calc it yourself. Goes to his Azumarill. He's going to go for the Aqua Jet. Probably Choice Banded. If he predicts the switch, that's a really good play. Same time, I'm physically defensive Scissor. Even if this is banded Azumarill, it's not going to do much. It shows that his Life Orb. That's fine by me. I'm going to U-turn. He's probably going for Liquidation, if not switching. He does end up switching. That's another free switching to Yanmega. So here we have a situation where Yanmega has no switch-ins, and he really just played this matchup poorly. So in saying that, I'm pretty confident when I say that this match is almost over. His Reunioclus cannot set up versus Yanmega unless it's Sash, which could make sense. Altaria is actually a very good switch in here. I'm going to go for Dragon Dance because it doesn't worry about Crawdont. I'm going to go for Frustration. The reason being is I don't want to give Reunioclus a free switch in, and I think Crawdont into Crabhammer into Aqua Jet would KO Altaria. Crawdont is a strong Pokemon. So far this guy hasn't really shown much. Trick Room is a bit of a gimmick, especially in underused. It doesn't match up well versus Pokemon like Gliscor or even fat teams with fat cores. And Pokemon such as Breloom and Taunt users also shut down Trick Room teams. I don't really think it's the most viable strategy at the moment. Okay, so looking at my opponent's team, I know that Altaria can beat both Azumarill and Crawdont one-on-one. I also don't want my opponent going for Rock Polish here. If he does, Rotom doesn't take anything from close combat anyway, so I feel like Yanmega's my sack. If he Short Stance, Yanmega's faster. He proved he was adamant. If Yanmega dies, I go to my Rotom Heat. I'm actually going to go to the calc and check how fast a adamant Cobalion is, because you're really missing out running adamant. Okay, Yanmega is faster, 315. Okay, so let's see what my opponent goes for. He goes for the Rock Polish. I didn't want that happening, but Rotom can tank the hit unless it's a critical hit. Yanmega forces him to go for Iron Head, so that's all good. I couldn't afford to switch in case he did go for the Swords Dance, just in case I made that play. So sacking Yanmega was the right play there. He could go for flinches here, but close combat doesn't come close to KOing Rotom, because Cobalion I think has 90 base attack. It's kind of underwhelming, yeah. It has 90 attack. So Altaria cleans up. His Azumarill's at low, and Frustration, or do I run Return? I can't remember. Both of those, either of those will KO his Crawdont. So good game, mate. Your team was a little inefficient, but most of all, you played inefficiently. You really need I believe, a jolly Cobalion, just because it does outspeed offensive threats. I mean, after rock polish, it doesn't matter, and perhaps you are going for damage. So, who am I to judge? If that worked for you in the past, then good on you. One last game, guys. It's been a quick one so far. It's been pretty easy matches. Hopefully, we get something tricky. All right, perfect. This guy does not look like he has fun versus Rotom, and Yanmega looks very difficult to switch into. So knowing that, I'm just going to lead with my Rotom. If he leads with his Rotom, I go for a Z overheat. If he leads with Empoleon, I get a Volt switch, and he might try to scout if I'm Specs right now. He's going to scout. He's not going to scout. I'm going to go to Yanmega. It just applies a lot of pressure early game, especially with Bug Buzz. If he goes for Stealth Rock, his Empoleon's gone. If he goes for Scald, his Empoleon's going to die to the next attack that I go for with any of my Pokemon. So that really works out for me. Again, Yanmega didn't do much, but it's very matched up based and matchup reliant, so I'm not too upset by the way that's panned out. What I am worried about is sub Bellydrum Komodo, and he's gone straight to it, which makes me suspect that's the case. I have to rely on Gunk Shot not missing here, which is very scary. He's not Bellydrum, he is some other set with leftovers. That's okay. He's probably his bulk up. Okay, that's all right. I get the 30% with Gunk Shot. I'm a bit happier now. I'm going to go to Scissor. He's probably going to Drain Punch. I thought he was going to go for Close Combat. I was a little worried about that. This is going to allow me to tank the Drain Punch of a slow U-turn or Scout the Switch. At the same time, Altaria is 4 times effective with Frustration. It will be annoying if he's max speed. I'm really not sure what to expect from this Komodo. Komodo got Stealth Rock recently this gen. He shows me that he is very fast, sub bulk up. I'm very glad Altaria is naturally bulky. That could have got out of hand very quickly. Okay, my play here is to go to Rotom. He's probably going to go for an Earthquake, hoping to take out Altaria. He goes for Ice Fang. Okay, I understand the play. It hits everything. It could have a freeze chance as well. I'm going to go for Hidden Power Ice. I don't expect him to think that that's what I would be running, and it turns out to be the case. If he has Facade, I don't believe it KOs Rotom either, and I can follow up with a... I don't know what I can follow up with if he did have Facade. He's going to try and storm me out of Hidden Power Ice. I believe it actually has more PP than Roost anyway. Overheats, does take out Glasgow. 3 versus 5, my opponent decides to forfeit. He was actually quite highly ranked. Sub bulk up Komodo must be pretty effective in that case. I was a bit thrown off guard, and I suppose his opponents must be thrown off guard because he's rated almost 1500s. Good game, mate. Quick series today, guys. I just finished another long shift at work. They've been smashing me a lot lately. Yesterday I worked a 12:30 till 8 p.m. shift, and this morning I was rostered on from 6 till 2:30 p.m. So, been getting a lot of work lately, so I'm trying to get up a video every day at the moment. That's my intention. If you guys want to know anything about me or have any questions